En tu caso, ¿cómo fue el tema? ¿Estabas tal vez en una depresión, estabas en una crisis profunda y ocurrió algo o pensaste algo o tuviste una determinada actitud que te permitió salir de ahí? ¿O cómo fue ese instante y que pasases a estar conscientemente en el presente?
Well, for me, I reached this point where I was just, I mean, to be honest, I was exhausted from seeking, from always striving to get somewhere. I was exhausted from the war with myself, exhausted from trying so hard all the time, trying to be happy, trying to be at peace, trying to be joyful, even trying to be awakened. The mind had even taken that on as a new game, trying to be awakened, trying to be enlightened, trying to lose the self, trying to transcend, trying. Always trying to get somewhere, and in the end, I didn't even know where I was trying to get to. I just knew I had to get there. I just knew that this moment wasn't home. I was always seeking home, and it just became just too exhausting. I was burnt out. I was exhausted. I was fed up and felt like a complete failure, completely worthless, And I just reached this point where I'll never become enlightened. I don't even know what enlightenment is anymore. I doubted all the teachings I had ever read, because they were all memories. They were all secondhand in a way, all other people's words. I just got this point. I was just sick to death of other people's words, other people's teachings, and telling me how I should be, how I should feel, which state I should be in, which state I shouldn't be in, which thoughts I should have, which aren't. So at this place of complete exhaustion, crisis, breakdown, this other possibility came through. I think I'd always been waiting for some kind of big experience. I'd been waiting for some kind of shift, waiting for some kind of I'd always been waiting. I spent my whole life waiting. And I think something inside me was just like, I'm not waiting anymore. It's a very simple way of saying it.
¿Crees que es posible hacer este cambio sin llegar a este agotamiento y a esta crisis profunda? ¿O solamente tomando una decisión podríamos entrar como ahí?
Well, the truth is we are all this already. I mean, what I am is what you are, is what he is what she is. Underneath our thoughts, our feelings, our stories, our histories, our nationalities, our beliefs, our religions, the color of our skin, the color of our hair. Underneath all of that, all the games we play, the masks, the roles, we are already, all of us are already the same presence, the same consciousness, the same ocean, seemingly different, separate waves, but underneath we're all the same ocean of consciousness. So in that sense, no one becomes this, no one reaches this. We are all already this. Not all of us always remember. I think it's a question of remembering. It's not a question of becoming. It's a question of remembering who you are, not becoming, but remembering. I think that's a really important distinction. It's not something that will happen. It's not something that happens. It's more like a remembering of what is already happening. So it's a really important distinction. Already. So, of course, many people that I meet, many people watching this interview will have gone through or will be going through some kind of crisis. Some people like me reach a point of just extreme breakdown and depression and wanting to die, complete disillusionment with the world, disillusionment with all the promises I've been made, disillusionment with all the teachings of enlightenment, complete disillusionment. So my story was quite extreme. My suffering had been so extreme. Not everyone has to go through some big breakdown, some huge dark night of the soul. Many people do. I think everyone suffers to an extent, though. I've never met anyone who hasn't suffered to an extent and hasn't felt some stress or depression, anxiety, or who hasn't come to question. I think life in so many different ways, big ways and in small ways, brings us to this question, who am I?
Mm-hmm.
So I think in the end, you know, whether we go through a huge breakdown or we just get to this point where nothing really makes sense anymore, and I just feel, you know, something's missing. I work hard. I have enough money. I've done all these things that were supposed to make me happy, and yet something strange, something's missing. I think it's a very precious time when you begin to become a little bit disillusioned with your life. I think that's wonderful.
Mm.
I love it when people become disillusioned with their lives, because that can really be the beginning of, you know, being drawn into this sacred question: who am I? On the deepest level, who am I? Am I who I thought I was? Am I my job? Am I my bank account? Am I the certificates on my wall? My worldly successes or failures? Is that who I really am? So I think through crisis, big or small, we're all eventually drawn to this question: who am I? Who am I? What's my true nature? And what's the true source of happiness? That's really the question. The question, who am I, is really the same question. What's the true source of happiness? Does happiness come from outside of me? Does love as well? Does love come from outside of me? Is it something that I have to strive for, work hard for, beg for? Do I have to deserve it? Am I worth it? Does happiness come from outside? Or, and this is where this teaching comes in, is happiness something that's actually more deeply rooted in presence? You know, is that the true source of happiness, our own presence, that our own sense of being alive?